Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we will be talking about a top 10 quiz. No, this is not a top 10 list. This is the game called Top 10 Quiz. This is designed by Julian Gupta, Johannes Berger, and it is published by Chile Island, which is like a small
division of Queen Games.
Yes, thank you.
You guys, we know, we watch the views on our channel. We know that people love top 10 lists.
They do.
And
this is how we're tricking you. We didn't name it. We didn't name the game. The game came like that.
And if you are like most viewers, you like top 10 lists too. Well, guess what? This game is chock full of top 10 lists. It's kind of a trivia style game. What you're trying to do is you're going to be given a topic. You've got to figure out, based off of who's on your team, how good you're going to do on this topic. Are you going to get 5 of the items on this list? Are you going to get 6 items on the list? You've got to bid against your other team, try to figure out who's going to be able to play, and then basically answer the question, figure out a top 10 list, and name all the things that you can on this list. Let me show you how to play. All right, the first thing we need to do in order to play top 10 quiz is break up into 2 teams. Also, to start our first round off, we need to pick 2 team captains. All right, so we've got the black team over here. Also, we've got the green team over here. We need to flip this coin over. And that's going to determine kind of the tiebreaker to start the game off with. All right, so then what's going to happen is we're going to play 7 rounds. This first round here, the captains are going to read off that title, what the kind of the topic of the top 10 is to the group. So we're going to be able to say society out loud. And then amongst ourselves, the team captains are going to read these. It's going to say, in the top 10 most common family names in the U.S. Okay, so we're looking at our teams and we're thinking to ourselves, oh man, I doubt that my team's going to be able to do well on this. Maybe I'll only bet 4. So they're going to rummage through their numbers here. They're going to find the number 4, and they're going to kind of hold it in their hand out. And once it's going to reveal, say 1, 2, 3, reveal. That's what they're going to show. This team over here, the green team, you know what? For whatever reason, the team captains is feeling really lucky. They think they can get 7 of them. So they're the same thing. They're going to reveal their number 7, 1, 2, 3, reveal. Whoever has the higher number, that's the team that's actually going to go on and do the top 10 quiz. So green now is our active team. The black team is the opposing team. So the opposing captain is going to kind of take out this card, and they're going to look at all the different answers. So now what's going to happen is the team captain kind of acts like a gatekeeper. They are not allowed to give any answers themselves, create any new answers. But what they're going to do is they're going to listen to their team. So let's say someone's throwing out names like, some crazy stuff like my last name, Newmeyer. It's obviously not very common. They can have the chance to say, you know what, I don't think that's common enough. I'm not going to say that to the opposing leader. But you know what? Someone on the team yelled out Smith. So then they're going to say, okay, you know what? I agree with that one. So they're going to say Smith to the opposing team captain. The opposing team captain is going to look at the card. They're going to determine whether it's on that list or not. If it is on the list, they're going to show what number it is. So let's say it was the number 9 thing on the list. They're going to show that. I could give you guys all the real answers, but I just don't want to spoil this particular card for you because, it is one of the actual cards in the game. All right, so if it was not one of the correct answers, you'd either have to, be done with the quiz. You can turn it back over to the other team, or what you can do is you can spend one of your special tiles. You have 3 of them. You can flip one of them over, and what that means is now you can keep on going, even though you made a mistake. Now you only get 3 of those for the whole game, so it's not like you get to refresh them every round. However, if any team ever makes a bid of 6 or more, they actually get to refresh one of them, even if they're not the ones who actually won the bet. So let's say if in a future round, this team bet 7, this team bet 8, this team would actually get to be the ones who go, but because both teams bet higher than 6 or 6 or higher, both teams would get to refresh one of their special tiles. If the active team is able to get all of the ones that they bid, they're going to get that top scoring tile. So in the first round, it's only worth 1 point. As the game goes on, they're going to get more and more points. Round 2 is worth 2 points. Round 3 is worth 3. The final round is worth 7 points. However, if they are not able to answer all the questions correctly, let's say they only got 6 of the 7 they were trying to get, this chance over here, the opposite team, the opposing team, gets a chance to steal the round. All they have to do is name one of the remaining things on the top 10 list in order to win that round. So if they were able to pull it off, let's say they yelled out Smith, and that was one of the things on the list, this team would be able to steal the whole point, and this team would get nothing. The captain cannot be involved in that decision making, by the way, because they already know the answers, and also you cannot use one of the special tiles while you're doing the steal. At the end of the game, teams are going to add up their points, and whoever has the most points wins the game. At the beginning of the round, if both team captains ever have the same number, let's say this team said 5 and this team said 5, well, whoever's going to be on top of the coin there, that's going to be the team who actually is the active team. However, it also flips over at that point. So now if that happens again, the black team is going to be the team who gets a chance to go.
We recently got a chance to play this game with my family, and it was a huge hit. It was nice because it was like two worlds combined, right? There's a lot of people in my family really like party games. And that's what they like, right? That's it. And then we have other people in my family who are definitely hobby gamers. And this was a game that kind of like blended that together. So it was able to get those party gamers and those hobby gamers, even though there are a lot of party games that like are definitely like hobby game party games, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Anyway, it definitely blended those two worlds together. So everybody was having a good time and everybody was able to play and get what was going on. So I just thought that was really incredible that they created this game, this party game that is going to be intriguing enough for the hobby gamers, but still fun enough for the party gamers to want to play as well.
Yeah. I think the categories that they chose for this game were fantastic.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are intimidated by trivia games. You know, they don't like having to know everything, having to know exact dates, exact facts, exact numbers, those kinds of things. But this is much more general knowledge. Like, for instance, there's always that one guy who has this, in your trivia team who knows a whole bunch about sports. If a sports category comes up, you're just, they're winning. They just know it all. But this had like subtle things, like, for instance, one of their versions of a sports category was the top 10 sports that had the most amount of doping cases, meaning like ones with performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
And like that's so much more general knowledge. Than, someone who does know sports might have a little bit of an insight. They might have read a news article or something, but they're not going to know the top 10. They're not going to be able to list that off like they were, top 10 home run hitters or whatever, like something like that.
Yeah.
So it was much more, everybody had a chance to participate. And the fact that there was, also having that captain be the kind of the gatekeeper in a way, out of, everyone,
listening to people and you're like, no, not that one.
But you as a chance to, as a participator, even if you don't know, you can still shout out, badminton, it's not going to be one of the ones that is necessarily an answer, but you're still going to participate, even if your answer is not necessarily going to be one that is given as an official answer.
Yeah, so this game also is great with people. I don't know if anybody has family members like this, but I have family members like this who have a hard time just staying at the table, right? Whenever you're at a family gathering, if you're ever hanging out, there's always just those people that are up doing stuff, or like walking around. They just can't stay at the table. In my family, we call them putzers. So they are putzers. They're just putzing around, right? I'm going to become a putzer. I'm sorry, Ryan.
I hope not.
It's going to happen. It's my future. But because of how this game is played and because there's so few components, you're basically just, have those little chits about how much you think that your team can get right, and then the cards, right? And so you can still play this game with the putzers because they can still yell things out. They can still participate. They can still go to the kitchen and get themselves something to drink and yell out, a sport that they think might have doping cases while everything is still participating. So this is great for people like that who just cannot stay at the table but still want to engage in the game. They can with this. It is possible. You can do it. We did it, so I know it's possible.
Just don't let them be a captain.
Yeah, no, they can't be captains. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we should
draw a line
focus
somewhere.
We need to focus for just like 5 minutes. Just sit still for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, they're not captains.
This game says it plays from 4 to 14. I would recommend going on the higher player count. You definitely could play it with the 4 players and have 2 teams, but it's way more enjoyable when you have 7 on 7. Everybody's throwing stuff out. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I recommend the higher player counts if you have those people available to you.
I think that one of the best things that you can say about a game is when somebody requests that you continue to bring it, and this definitely happened after just the first play we had with my family, is they asked if we could bring it back to the next family gathering because they really enjoyed it. And you know what it's like when you just are throwing games at your families all the time, right? Or your gaming group all the time. Not all of them are going to land, and they can't all land. So when one does land and when they really like it and then they want it again, that's always a great sign to that game just being captivating and getting somebody's attention.
Yeah, this is a huge hit. We played it at one of our gaming getaways, like a weekend getaway, and people were asking for it back to back. And if it wouldn't for the fact that it was 2 a.m, we would have probably just kept on playing. Bringing up more and more of these top 10 lists because they're fun. Not only is it getting the chance to play and win and all that stuff fun, but just the lists themselves are just fun little bits of knowledge, and it's fun to kind of everybody has a little area of expertise that they get to contribute to the game. If you like trivia game, but you don't like high pressure trivia, like having to know exact stats and figures, I think you're gonna really dig this one. If you are familiar with like Family Feud style games, this has a little bit of overlap with that, some familiarity there for people who have watched that show before. I think they're gonna like this too.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. And until then, you can follow us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.